the next video for me reading the books that I own, that I buy, and that I borrow from the library. I've still got the piles there. We're still making this happen. Anyway, this intro is going to be a little chaotic because that's how I'm feeling. I write down little cards for the books that I read and keep them in that little file over there. Yeah, there it is. And yeah, just each book. I haven't done them for every book, which is a shame. But anyway, I was just going through them because I just added a couple that I've read recently. And I found that Burnt Sugar. And Burnt Sugar was one of the books that I bought. And I didn't know that I'd read it. I finished it in May 2023. It's a memorable book. This was on this pile of books to read. And now I've already read it. I gave it 4 stars. What did I say about it? Amazingly written, compelling, easy to sink into the story. I don't know if it's my need for resolution, but I found it to be too short and to wrap up too quickly. Loved it, and I would recommend it. I do remember it. So anyway, we can take that off the list. I've read that book. How ridiculous. Okay, so this is what I think I'm going to read, because in the last vlog that I posted about this, not everybody, lots of people said, oh my goodness, that Maggie O'Farrell book is so great. I love it. So we're going to read After You'd Gone. This is a book that I bought. So I'm really excited to read this now. I think I've only read Hamnet of Maggie O'Farrell's. Is that a crime? Anyway, this one. And why not make it an all-female ticket and read an amazing Australian female writer, Charlotte Wood, Stony Hour Devotional. This is what we're reading in this vlog. Is flying by. I'm halfway through. Just going to take a breath because it's very easy to consume, and that's not to say it's written badly or it's fluff or anything like that. It's the way that it's told. So it's told from the point of view of this woman who's gone to live at this nunnery, and I just tried to think of her name. I'm sure I would know it, but I can't think of it now. But she's just observing. She's recalling. The nunnery is in her hometown where she grew up. She's remembering her mother and her father, these sort of things. And yeah, it's just really observational, which makes me feel really connected to her, like deeply connected to her. And there's this kind of, I don't know how she got there. I don't know why she's there. I know she left behind people that love her, but that's all I know. And that she just upped and moved to this nunnery. But it doesn't matter so much to me. I don't need to know the backstory so much because I'm just living in the moment to moment with her in this kind of really bare bones, simple way of living. The observations are the same, and she's not spiraling or she's not in this deep depression or whatever. She's just moving from moment to moment in each day and facing whatever comes up in each day. You know, I think about that a lot. I think about that presence of living, the simplicity of living in presence, and those moment to moment just observations of the smallest little details that get so lost in the future planning and in the, trying to keep it all together kind of thing. As a mother, from when when the kids were little and you had to pack the nappy bag and make sure that you had everything that you could possibly need just in case. And I think about that a lot. You know, I had jumpers just in case it got cold. I had different types of food just in case they needed it and didn't like one type of food. I got another type of food. And, you know, I had towels just in case they got wet, and just all of the just in cases. And that, even my children are older now, we don't need nappy bags anymore, but just that has filtered through the rest of my life. So I'm always trying to manage the what ifs in life. I'm always trying to make sure that I am one step ahead, so that I will be in control of whatever comes my way. And the idea of presence and living moment to moment is that you just move with what's happening now, right? And this book is kind of really hitting home in that space for me, because I'm trying to move out of that constant management of and control of life into observing, being present with what is here, and just kind of making moment to moment choices. Yeah, and this book's really landing in that space for me. I don't know if that's where it's supposed to land, but that's where it's landing for me. So yeah, I'm flying through it, and I'm just, you know, sitting in bed. I've got my cup of tea. I'm going to take a breath from it and read something else for now, but just so I don't just devour and consume without really sitting with it. Yeah, because, you know, when you have a tendency to kind of just be on autopilot, I felt myself moving into that space, and I don't want to do that, because yeah, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it a lot. I'm so glad that this just got shortlisted for the Booker Prize. I think the shortlist came out a few days ago. And despite whether I love it or not, the fact that an Australian female writer is on that shortlist makes me so incredibly happy. I've got a new concoction that I'm drinking. It is cacao, and that milk is a combo of soy milk, because I just can't let it go. It's so creamy and delicious. And Nutty Bruce. I think it's almond and coconut mixed together. Anyway, in that I put ginger, turmeric, and black pepper. And I'm bleeding right now, and the warmth of it in my body, oh, I love it. I highly recommend give it a go. In non-chipped cups, of course. Yeah, that's on the list of things to do. Get some better mugs. So I don't know what time it is, but I'm going to take a break from reading. Oh my God, check me out. I'm day 2 of my cycle. There's no way I'm going to get out of these clothes for the entire day. No way. I have been dragged into the Notion game. I'm a Notion user, and it's fucking addictive. So I'm going to do something on there. So I'm going to get some of these things ticked off, because I like ticking off lists. And I didn't tick off all of my list for the last 2 days, so let's see if I can do it today. That's what I'm going to do for a little bit now. And then it's back to bed. Bliss. I've just been out doing the washing, and the wind is insane today, but you know, fantastic time to do the washing. So I should have taken some footage of me battling to try and get the sheets on there. Anyway, I've been reading, but I've been reading some Shorty September books. So I've just finished off one that's been lurking around for a while, which feels amazing, and it was good. But I'm very keen to hang out with the nuns again. So that's where I'm at. Got some chips. Time to sink into this book again, which I'm drawn to doing, which is very exciting. I've got 80 pages to go until I hit part 3, so let's see if we can do that in this little reading session. This woman can write. The amount of lines in here, if I was one of those people that tabbed books, actually, if I owned this book and it wasn't a library copy, and I was one of those people that tabbed books, this would be filled. I mean, and I knew this. I knew that Charlotte Wood was an amazing writer. This is just adding to her collection of amazing things that she's written. Her way with words is something that really, really appeals to me, that I really love, that I really take in, that really hits me. I love it. These chips aren't cutting it. I need something more. It's time to make a plate of food. Yeah. Let's go. Think about it. I have a strong addiction to sardines at the moment. Watch my concoction. Watch my concoction that I make from this little tin of sardines. Protein filled. Deliciousness. Bed. I've eaten. Now my belly's full. I'm on day 2 of my bleed, so it's definitely nap time. So I'm going to read this book, put on some reading sprints because it's my current addiction. I don't care who you are. I'm just going to do reading sprints with you and drop off to sleep. So I'll see you on the other side and I'll let you know how much I read before I fell asleep. I just dozed. I wasn't a good solid sleep, but that's okay. I am here, page 224. I can't believe how fast I'm reading this. It's so engaging to me. So anyway, I've only got 70 pages left. So let's sit here and read that. And I'll let you know what I think at the end. All done. It was good. It was good. It's hard to I think it's a really personal book, actually. I think that for each person, this is going to hit on a different level, depending on your grief, the harshness of life that you've been through. I think for me, this kind of desire for the simplicity of life and this idea that you have to shelter yourself away from everything, from everyone you love, and from the day-to-day life trappings, the harshness of life, is the only way to achieve that simplicity. That's kind of what I think I took from this. That she was a woman before this, and you don't get much of a glimpse into that, was, gave to all of these different funds and supported all of these humanitarian sort of causes, and, was an aware woman in the world of, the harshness of it and what was going on, that she had suffered her own grief, not just of her mother and her father, but through her friends. And there's instances of people that she had lost and her grief around that. There's also this kind of looking back on childhood and the mistakes that you made as a child, and the regrets you have around that, and that kind of need for forgiveness kept popping up, that need to repent kept popping up. And how can that be achieved? And in the end, this woman felt that she needed to just kind of completely disconnect in order to be able to step away from all of this sadness and death that was surrounding her. I think the mouse plague was an interesting thing for me, and I've been thinking about why it was in there, and I have been in a bit of a plague myself, being out in the plains. And I think it was a commentary on this kind of never-ending tide of destruction. And you are kind of trying to battle these really destructive creatures that look kind of cute and you don't want to end their life. And, you know, these are living beings, but they are destructive and they keep coming at you and coming at you and they overtake you. And you have, you know, very small means to be able to control this kind of constant flux of destructiveness. And that, I think, is a very interesting commentary, maybe on capitalism, or maybe just on this kind of the harshness of life again that just keeps coming at you, and you all you can do is sort of give to these charities, or, you know, you don't really have an option to kind of handle what this wave of destruction that's coming through. Yeah, I'm gonna have to muse on that a bit more. I loved it. I did love it. I love her writing. She is constantly changing in the subject she's writing about and the way that she writes. I've only read a few of her books, but I do want to devour everything she's ever read. Yeah, this is so excited. This is on the Booker shortlist, and I think this is a book that you need to read a few times to kind of see where you land with it. And I think it's a very personal experience. So yeah, I loved it. Highly recommend picking this one up. Morning. I've had no sleep. I couldn't get to sleep. I've been up doing things, and I'm trying to get back to sleep. It's like, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's just not working. So, you know, those moments where you like just cut your losses, start your day. We need to go out, run some errands, do some work, and then come back and clean up my little studio for my parents to arrive and my boys to come home. And then maybe do some reading at the end of all of that. I did start this, and I've only just started it because, yeah, I guess it starts out with, I mean, it's in the first chapter, so it starts out with this woman, Alice, dying, committing suicide. And yeah, within that chapter, she goes to visit her sisters. And so yeah, it's going to be just an extremely sad, full-on book. And I read it last night and I was like, whoa, I just didn't realize. So, wish me luck is what I'm saying. I feel like this is going to be a book I'm going to have to get through. But if anyone can take me there, Maggie O'Farrell can, right? Okay, I'm going to have a shower and just get moving. I hate this. I hate not sleeping well. It just is, right? I'm at the post office. There's this dress that I bought off a super dodgy website and a pair of shoes, and it's come wrapped like this. It went missing. I had to chase it up. Like, it's just been a whole thing. Dodgy websites. Those are not the shoes that I bought. Imagine trying to return this stuff too. It's a completely different colour. It's sucked in every time. This is the dress. It's meant to be for an event we've got coming up. Oh my God, no. It's so thin. It's such poor quality. This cost me $80. It is just, and then now to have to try and return this. Anyway, we might try it on and it might look really nice. But it's just going to be like shit quality. And these shoes are just That is so frustrating. When will I learn? I'm eating coconut yogurt. So yummy. I'm home now. I spent the morning at the draft. It was great. I don't ride horses. I don't like horses, but being in that space is very relaxing. I'm 50 pages into this, so I thought I would update you about my feelings. Woman takes her own life, and that happens first chapter. And then now we're going back through, I guess, her childhood and her mother and father. But right now I'm at when her mother and father got married, and I'm being told about her father's mother, her grandmother, and I'm thinking to myself, why? Maybe this is like this long generation of mental illness that's coming through. I don't know, maybe there's some big dark secret that this woman couldn't handle. I don't know, but I'd rather just stick with her, and you know, I don't need to know about her grandmother, but maybe I do. You know, like I'm just at that point in the book where you're like, why am I being told this information? It's feeling a little like, just a bit frustrated that the direction that the story is going in. That I'm kind of, you know, something so big, it's so huge, is this woman taking her own life, and then now I'm hearing about her grandmother's garden. I don't care. I want to know what's going on. Yeah. Anyway, that's how I'm feeling. I'm back home. The football's on. Standard stuff. Standard weekend here at the Cooks. We tried to have a swim. It was freezing. You know, like we're just kind of plodding through the day, which is really nice. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm desperately tired. So after my yogurt, maybe it's nap time. I think we just scored a try. It's Wallabies versus New Zealand. So that's the Australian rugby team against the All Black New Zealand team. Tense rivalry, and New Zealand are just so good at rugby. Like, we could never beat them. They're amazing. They still hope every single time. You never know. Maybe one day. But I think we just got to try. Anyway, you're here to, people who are here to talk about books do not care about the rugby, right? There's the update. I'm going back to my yogurt. Maybe a reading blog. Do some more reading. Definitely a nap. It's 2:00 in the morning and I have no business turning on a camera, but I need to record this because I don't know, what am I on? 93 pages. And I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting really frustrated with this. Maggie O'Farrell is laying breadcrumbs down, and the breadcrumbs are why, you know, around why this girl decided to take her own life. And by the way, she's not dead. She's in a coma. Did I say that? I said she's committed suicide the whole time. She's in a coma. She's not dead. Oh gosh, that's really important, I think. Oh my goodness. At 2 a.m. in the morning, we've established that I, she's not dead. So you're kind of hearing some of her thoughts from her being in the coma. Not that she's very conscious of what's going on outside, but she's having thoughts. And then there's a lot of, like, we just flip a lot, like between her and this, you know, the guy that she lost her virginity with, and then this other guy that she loves, and then her parents' point of view, and then, what she did for work. And, the last, I just read this line and then I got frustrated. You won't believe what I saw. Let me tell you what I saw. So it's like this breadcrumb of like, okay, something really bad happened to her and she didn't share it. And then her relationships broke down. And then she got to this point where she didn't want to live anymore, or stuff took over and whatever. What my concern is that I'm only 90 pages in. I've got all of this to go. Yet I'm getting frustrated with this kind of, I don't want to be led through with all of these breadcrumbs till the end when she's going to tell me what it is that she saw and the reason why she did this. In this way that is so flip-floppy. It's not, this isn't making any sense. Let me try and articulate my frustration, because it doesn't really make much sense on paper, but I think it's the way that this is being told. So, obviously, the point of this book is, why did she decide to take her own life? Which, she's still alive. We've established that. Oh my God. But why did she make the choice to whatever? That's the point of the book. I get it. I understand it. I don't need everything to be chronological. I don't need to start from the childhood and go through in a chronological way to the point where she decided to do what she did. I don't need that. But what I do need is, what do I need? It jumps around a lot. Like, I'm moving from when she lost her virginity to when she gets interviewed by a reporter, to when she has this other job, to when she moves into this different house, to when her parents met, to when her grandmother died. Like, I'm moving around a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. And to the present moment when her parents arrive at the hospital. So I'm having to collect all of these little breadcrumbs, all of this information. Well, I'm collecting the information without knowing whether it relates. And I'm trusting the author that she's just not indulging and wanting to tell all of these different stories. I'm trusting that everything that she's telling me is important. But she's telling me a lot of different things. And so I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, do I retain this information? Is this something I invest in? Because does it actually relate to what happened? And that last line suggests to me that further down the line, she saw something, she didn't tell anybody about it, and it's fucked with her mind. It's just completely sent her into this spin. So if that's it, then why aren't we focusing on that time in her life, not her grandmother's death, not, like when she was a little baby? Like, why are we going back so far? Why are we jumping around so much? That's where I'm at. And there could be a very good reason for this. But I have to put a lot of trust and faith in this author as I'm reading through it to like run with her. And I'm getting frustrated by that. I'm getting frustrated by that. It could just be at 2 a.m. in the morning reading kind of thing. We'll see how I wake up after I go back to sleep. I need to go back to sleep. Morning. I went back to sleep. Got a bit of sleep. Not as grumpy anymore. I've read another 50-ish pages of this book. Taking deep breaths. I really am. I really want to love it. I really do. We've, it's just, these kids, they cannot do anything today without checking with me. Like, it's a problem. I've got them cleaning the house. I'm trying to raise men who can make decisions about housework on their own, which takes a lot of you working out, mate, and the uncomfortable frustration on their end with that, because they just want to be like told what to do so it can be done. This is your house too. What do you want to do with that? How do you want to do that? Oh, it's so exhausting. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this. Oh, this is exhausting too. Look, there's just secrets everywhere, right? There's a secret with her mum. There's a secret that her grandmother holds. There's a secret that she holds. There's the secret now that her ex-fiance has to tell her, like, we're back there, just everywhere. And one of the most frustrating plot devices that I read is this miscommunication idea, or not telling each other everything, and that keeps the angst growing. And when will the secret be revealed? Or like those sorts of things are, I know they happen, but to me it's not clever. It's just two characters not talking to each other, and then that's where the tension builds, rather than some sort of way to weave these characters and a story through them. I've never written a book, so I don't know how hard or easy that is. I'm just speaking from my experience as a reader. That's a frustration part for me. And I guess that's why I hate all of those, hate's a strong word, but I do, all of those contemporary romances, you know, the miscommunication stuff, and then they come back together at the end. Ugh. So this is what I feel is happening here. There's just all of these people aren't telling people things, and I don't want it to move in that direction. And I think that's why I'm getting frustrated with it, because I'm worried that that's where it's going, because there's all these different things popping up. Everybody has a fucking secret, it seems. And I have a theory about this poor woman Alice, and something, like, it's been hinted to that she saw something, then she didn't tell her fiance, then that relationship was obviously broken down, and then this has led her to this decision to try and take her own life. And I have a theory about what that is, now that a couple of reveals have happened, even though more reveals are to come. And that really worries me. And if that does unfold this way, in that predictable kind of way, then I'm out. The minute it pops up, I'm out. But that is all just like what ifs. That's all just me with my own little worrying reader hat on. Maggie O'Farrell could pull something out of the bag here. She really could. So we'll see. Anyway, that's where I'm at with this book. I will continue to read it. But if that reveal pops in, that predictable reveal, we're over. We are over. But we're still together now. We're hanging on by a thread. I am going to do the groceries. Ugh. And this weekend in my town, you know how your towns have their big tourist festival things that they, you know, every year. Some people have like pig races, or I don't know. There's an Elvis festival, whatever it is. My town, it's the Carnival of Flowers, and our town invests so much energy into the beauty of our gardens, and lots of people come to see it, and there's big parades and all the things. As a local, you know, in your town, if it's in your town, you kind of pop in and then step away. You do not want to go and be part of the madness that is the tourism stuff in there. You'll just see it later on. That's where I'm at. But I have to go in to get the groceries. So I'm going to do very minimal. I'm going to stick to the suburbs, and fingers crossed there's not a fancy garden nearby the local grocery store. And there's heaps of people around. But I think I'll be pretty safe. So I'm going to do that now. And then come home to hopefully a brilliantly cleaned house by two boys who are able to work out where to vacuum and where not to vacuum. I mean, really? Back. Just groceries take so much energy for me, and I did plan to film and whatever, show you the grocery shop, but I just have to stay so focused. If you're in Australia, well, I don't know if it's everywhere around the world, but the cost of groceries are, and And so I have to stay really like focused to maintain our grocery budget. It's not always easy. Not when you buy bone broth for $34. Anyway, I feel like I need collagen. Everybody's talking about collagen. I feel like I need some, so I'm going to give it a go. So what's happening this afternoon is spring equinox today. So that is well, we're in the southern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere, it would be autumn equinox. But it's where the days are equal. We have the same amount of light as we do dark. It's a very cool threshold, and there's a lot to move through around it. And so some beautiful women who I love are coming over to just watch the sunset out here and honour the threshold and just sit together. I'm cooking butter chicken for everyone. You saw me make that. So I wrote my list. I've got a list and I will get to it. The boys spent 3 hours cleaning the house in there this morning. So they're playing video games. So right now I'm just going to take a minute. Maybe I'll read, watch some booktube, maybe have a little doze off. That could be on the cards. And then, get up and get this place sorted for us to sit and watch the sunset. That's my plan. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I will read some more of this with positivity and openness and excitement. Okay? I promise. I'll let you know. I didn't share any of that with you, but we had a beautiful evening out on the veranda. We watched the sunset. We talked about the threshold of spring equinox and saying yes to ourselves. We pulled tarot cards and we ate delicious food. Everybody bought food and we shared. It was just so much abundance of feminine energy, abundance of love. Yeah, we all have built this really beautiful community together, and I love it. It's gorgeous. It's so restoring and fulfilling, and sitting with women. If you're a woman, sit with other women in that quiet space, in that reflective space, in that sharing space. It is a game changer. Yeah. But now, as you can tell, I'm a little tired. I did read and I did have a big nap. I think I'm on page 191 now. So nothing's really shifted for me yet, but we will see. We will see. Hi, I just thought I'd show you my studio. I just did a card reading with a beautiful woman. This is my studio. That's a mirror. Yeah. I'm here. I've been at work today and then come into the studio for a bit. Now I have to go back to work. Then I have to go home to my kids. But I just thought, I'm here. I may as well show you, the space where I sit with women, do my menstrual cycle coaching, do my card readings, and just feel the most happy in the whole world. Okay, this part of my day is over. I gotta hit the road and get some errands done. And then I need to eat. Starving. That's on the cards too. Okay, I'm back home now. I've done all my errands. Look, you didn't want to see it. I spent $500 on 4 bottles of alcohol. I had to buy prizes for a golf day. I've never spent that money like that before. Made me feel sick actually, but anyway, have to do it. Yeah, I've been home, I've had lunch, I've hung out with the kids, we've had a swim. Oh, I had another swim, they had a swim. I'm really bloody tired now, actually. I have to go back into town in a minute, but I'm just taking this moment to be on the couch and I'm going to read this. I've read heaps. I was reading last night, so I've got about 100 pages left. Let me tell you, I'm bored. I'm so bored. I don't like it. I think that it's just dragging me along for the sake of dragging me along. I just don't find any purpose to it. There's this really big issue going on between this poor woman who's in a coma, who's parents don't even stay with her overnight. Like, perhaps that's a symptom. I don't know. And the fiance, so we're in flashbacks constantly. And this big drama that's going on, it's like, I get it, but I don't know, it's just not that big a deal. The big reveal as to what she saw, that hasn't come yet. So I'm still waiting for that bomb to drop. But I'm so bored in the meantime. I'm not enjoying it at all. But I will finish it. I hope to do that today. Maybe here, but I just, when you're reading and you're like, I'm totally going to have a nap. I'm going to fall asleep. This is where I'm at. But I will let you know when it's done. But right now, I would give this book a 2-star. That's how I feel about it. It's a shame. But anyway, that's where we're at. Just thought I'd let you know. I'll see you when I finish it. Okay, I'm calling it. I just made it to part 3. The reveal happened, which was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Another thing happened, which was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was just predictable and boring, and I give it a 2-star, and that's the end of that. I don't even want to finish it. I just don't. And I think that part 2 of that book was just long and tedious for me. I know a lot of people love this book, and this is what I love about reading, is that we all have different desires in the books that we read. We all open up to different things in different ways because of our experiences in our life. And I love that. So it is not a bad book. It's just a bad book for me. I just didn't like it. That's all that it is. Look, this is my second Maggie O'Farrell now that I've read. The first one was Hamnet, and that was by far a superior writing experience than this. And this is a 20th anniversary edition. This woman has been writing for a long time. My God, when was this first published? So it was first published in the year 2000. So that was a while ago. And Hamnet's only just happened, doesn't it? So I just find that book just a far superior writing experience. And just the storytelling is so much better. So I need to go back and look through Maggie O'Farrell's, like, her list of books that she's ever written. I've got a few in there actually, which I'm worried about picking up now. But just see actually where this sits in the list of books that she's written. I don't know what that's called. I'm sure there's a fancy name for it. I think this was one of the first books that she ever wrote. So there we go. But it's got a 4.03 average, more than the other books that I've got, which isn't good. This makes sense if this was her first book. Didn't work for me. So there we go. These are the 2 books. One that I borrowed and one that I bought. One a huge success and the other a DNF. But you win some, you lose some, right? Really proud of myself that I'm actually reading the books that I'm getting out from the library and actually reading the books that I bought. So, yeah. Anyway, I think there's one more combo to go. So, I'll see you in the next video when I read those 2 books. Thanks for hanging out with me.